In the top stories, Beach Allen Primary School kicks off School's Safety Week with special assembly. Caribbean Development Bank partners with Grenada and UK to address disability inclusion in the Caribbean. And UN Security Council voices strong concern for UN peacekeepers after Israeli attacks. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. I'm your presenter, Shanique Harvey. Nationally, as part of the Ministry of Education's inaugural Schools Safety Week initiative, schools across St. Kitts held special assemblies on October 14th to commemorate the week of activities. The Beach Allen Primary School hosted their assembly under the theme, Safety Starts With Me, aimed at promoting and reinforcing the importance of safe learning environments for students and staff. During the assembly, Vincent Fo, District 2 Manager of the National Emergency Management Agency, or NEMA, addressed the students, emphasizing the critical role of safety in their daily lives. He noted that climate change-related disasters pose a significant threat to their well-being and education.
We are having a lot of disasters. Climate change is causing a lot of that. And you, as the children and youths of tomorrow, are being suffering because of these disasters. Whenever we've been struck with a disaster, you have school closing, you're home from your education. Some of y'all get sick because there's things flying around in the air. So all these are part of the safety project that they are trying to put in place. You have to take the initiative or take the first step in making sure that your environment is safe. Tell your friends, tell your family, be that agent where you go around and you talk about safety at home, safety at school, safety within your community.
Principal Jamila Bristol Brown also addressed the students, reinforcing the idea that safety begins with them. She announced that as part of the day's activities, students would participate in a safety inspection of the school, identifying hazards and discussing solutions with their teachers.
You're going to make sure you have a pen or a pencil and a piece of paper so you can write down the information, and when you get back to your class, you can tell your teachers what you found, what is dangerous, and how we can fix it, what you think we can do to go about making our school safe. You are part of this.
Schools Safety Week continues with various activities, including an emergency earthquake drill on Tuesday, a school cleanup day on Wednesday, and safety talks and demonstrations on Thursday. The week will conclude with safety exhibitions on Friday. These activities are being held in line with the International Day for Disaster Reduction, celebrated on October 13th, under the theme, Empowering the Next Generation for a Resilient Future. This initiative is part of a broader effort by the Ministry of Education to promote safety and preparedness among students, fostering a secure learning environment across the island. The Nevis Island Administration, or NIA, has achieved a significant milestone in its effort to improve the water supply on the island, striking water at the first well drilling site in Maddens. The drilling, undertaken by Water and Oil Wells Services Company Limited, or WOWS, reached water at approximately 600 feet on October 10th, with further drilling extending to over 700 feet the following day. Minister of Water Services, Honorable Spencer Brand, called the discovery a pivotal moment in the island's drive to enhance water security and sustainability. He said, quote, "This is an exciting time for Nevis as we work towards resolving our water supply challenges," end quote. Premier of Nevis, Honorable Mark Brantley, praised the ongoing efforts of Minister Brand and his team. He expressed satisfaction with the results, saying, quote, we've faced water shortages over the years, and this drilling project is a major step toward a more sustainable water supply, end quote. Drilling at the Maddens site began in early August, and despite mechanical issues encountered during the process, the WOWS team quickly resolved them. Joshua Ross, operations engineer and commercial supervisor at WOWS, said pump testing of the well will commence soon once the necessary equipment arrives on the island. Meanwhile, the drilling team is preparing to start work at a second site in Maddens Estate. The project involves drilling 9 potential wells, which are expected to significantly boost the island's potable water supply over the coming months. Minister Brand underscored the importance of the initiative, particularly in addressing water rationing during the island's harshest months. He stated, quote, "We hope this drilling exercise will lead to a future where water rationing becomes a thing of the past," end quote. Floyd Robinson, manager of the NIA's Water Resources Management Unit, estimated that the first well could yield up to 300 gallons of water per minute. Once tests confirm the water's quality, it will be fed into the Maddens Estate water storage tank and distributed to communities across Nevis, including Brickkiln, Newcastle, Jessops, and Charlestown. This development is seen as a promising solution to Nevis's long-standing water supply challenges, offering hope for improved access to clean water across the island. In an appearance on ZIZ Radio's The Edge with Devon Cornelius on Monday, Joseph Bergan shared his story of survival after a gunshot wound left him partially disabled in 2005. Now navigating life in a wheelchair and with the aid of a cane, Bergan is on a mission to inspire the nation to abandon violence and embrace more positive paths. His message comes at a critical time as St. Kitts and Nevis and the wider Caribbean region grapple with the ongoing impact of gun violence. He also spoke about how being disabled could impact one's mental health.
First of all, I'm a soldier of the St. Kitts Nevis Defence Force.
Okay.
In 2005, I was out doing some escort duties on a Simaco truck, and there was a robbery. Unfortunately, I was shot in my neck. As a result of that, I am experiencing paraplegic issues on my right side, that's partially paralyzed. Some people even shut themselves away from society because they can't carry what had happened to them mentally. You know, and I learn a lot about that. You know, mental strength is very important. Mental strength, sometimes it is even stronger than physical strength. You know, and a man with a bulk of muscle, he may look strong or seem strong, but when it comes down to the mental part of it, that is.
Bergan called on the nation to come together and put an end to the cycle of violence.
People out there who are grieving, in pain from this kind of repetitive behavior, and you know, and too many often you find children growing up in today's world, they don't even know their dad. They don't know their mother because of these, you know, social ills.
Right.
Yeah. And we really have to stop this as a nation.
Stay tuned for more on this story in our evening newscast. We move now to news on the regional scene. The Caribbean Development Bank, or CDB, in collaboration with the Government of Grenada, the United Kingdom Government, and regional partners, unveiled a new report on disability at the 2024 Caribbean Disability Conference. Held from October 9th to 13th in Grenada, the event brought together over 200 participants to discuss key issues impacting people with disabilities in the region. The conference, themed Community Access, Empowerment and Inclusion, focused on integrating recommendations from the CDB's 2024 Draft Regional Disabilities Assessment Report into future development plans. The report, based on studies from 4 countries, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Grenada, and Trinidad and Tobago highlights gaps in disability rights, access to services, and inclusion in policymaking. CDB's Social Sector Division Chief, Dr. Martin Batiste, emphasized the need for legal, policy, and educational reforms to address the challenges facing people with disabilities. He reaffirmed the bank's commitment to disability mainstreaming, noting, quote, "Disability is not an inability, and nothing can be done without the invaluable contribution of the disabled community," end quote. The British High Commission, represented by Resident Commissioner Victor Clark, reiterated the UK's dedication to promoting disability rights and highlighted the £350 million UK Caribbean Infrastructure Fund, which supports climate-resilient and socially inclusive infrastructure across the region. The event aims to drive policy changes and enhance opportunities for people with disabilities, ensuring a more inclusive future across the Caribbean. And in other regional news, the man whose body that was discovered near the A&R Robinson International Airport in Tobago on Sunday morning has been identified as 43-year-old Guyanese national Marcus Archer. Archer's body, which bore multiple chop wounds, was found around 8 a.m. on a beach behind the airport. Police reported that Archer, a resident of Bon Accord, worked as a batch operator on the airport expansion project. Further investigations revealed that Archer, who previously lived in Cunupia, Trinidad, was married with children. Evidence from his apartment and the scene has led police to believe that he may have been killed at his home, with his body later dumped on the beach. Authorities were also informed that Archer had a confrontation with a group of men last month who reportedly threatened his life. Police plan to question the suspects in the coming days. PC Brooms is leading the investigation, which marks Tobago's 25th murder of the year. Internationally, the UN Security Council expressed strong concern on Monday as Israel has fired on and wounded UN peacekeepers in southern Lebanon during intensified fighting, reiterating its support for their role in supporting security in the region. It's the first statement by the UN's most powerful body since Israel's attacks on the positions of the peacekeeping force, known as UNIFIL, began last week, drawing international condemnation. UN peacekeeping chief Jean-Pierre Lacroix told reporters that Secretary General Antonio Guterres confirmed on Monday that peacekeepers will remain in all their positions, even as Israel has urged the peacekeepers to move 5 kilometers or 3 miles north during its ground invasion in Lebanon. Israel has been escalating its campaign against Hezbollah in Lebanon across a UN-drawn boundary between the two countries. The sides have been clashing since the Iranian-backed militant group started firing rockets a year ago in solidarity with its ally Hamas in Gaza. Hamas's deadly attacks in southern Israel on October 7, 2023, launched the war. And finally, in international news, Florida counties hard hit by Hurricane Milton are returning to a semblance of normalcy, with power restored to most areas on Monday, gas stations reopening, and students preparing to return to school. Still, some neighborhoods remained without power, with many severely damaged homes and businesses, their streets flooded and filled with debris. Florida power companies had restored electricity to about 93% of the 3.4 million homes and businesses that lost service after Milton made landfall late Wednesday as a Category 3 hurricane south of Tampa, smacking the region with 120 miles per hour winds and a storm surge of up to 10 feet. The three major power companies in the area hit by Milton deployed thousands of workers to quickly repair lines, poles, and other infrastructure. And now for the weather. Present weather is fair skies with slight dust haze. Winds are a gentle breeze of 10 miles per hour from east-northeast. The temperature for today is 32 degrees Celsius or 89 degrees Fahrenheit. Seas are 1 to 1.2 meters or 3 to 4 feet. Weather forecast for today predicts mostly sunny with a 10% or slight chance of a brief late afternoon shower. Tonight will be partly cloudy with a 20% or slight chance of a brief shower. Sunset for today will be at 5:49 p.m. and sunrise for tomorrow will be at 6:04 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your presenter, Shanique Harvey.